Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the B.A.M show, which means being the man. I'm here with my co-host today, Mr. Mango. What's going on?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
Man, today, this week started off, you know, with tragedy.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Speaking of the incident that happened in Las Vegas, Nevada, right?
Yes.
So, I think the last time I saw it, it was at 500 plus injured and 50 plus deaths.
Wow.
And I don't even know if they're done yet. Searching everywhere.
Wow. That's crazy. Um, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I stayed up late last night, and when I got up, I saw the headlines, but I didn't see. I didn't read the story.
Yeah.
I was on Facebook, and I seen a whole bunch of pray for Las Vegas. I'm like, okay, what happened? School shooting, what happened? And but then, when I got up, they started talking about it, and my wife started talking about it, and I was like, yeah, I'll try to talk about you this morning. And she was like, but this morning I ain't know what it was, but now it's the thing, it's the big deal that it is, and
Yeah.
but what she um was she when she started talking about it, and then she started describing the scene and describing the man and describing the situation, I started to get this, my conspiracy theorist mind started churning, and I just started thinking MK Ultra, and I was like, she was like, what, MK Ultra, what's that? I'm like, Google it, and and that's what I'm thinking, man. Because when you look at what they say about this dude, no one expected it.
Yeah. Dude was doing it from the 32nd floor.
Mm-hmm. And
Damn. I don't even. I need to know exactly what kind of gun that was, but that.
okay, she said it was an MK something something something, and I was like, well, ain't that something? I said MK Ultra. The type of gun was an MK something something something, and uh, sometimes they like to sprinkle their signature on stuff that they do. When I say they, I'm talking about the powers that be. Part of me feel like they do stuff like this to to change the flow of the minds of the people.
Yeah,
Last week, what we talking about?
the hurricanes.
No, after the hurricanes, it was all about the NFL last week. Okay, NFL,
Oh
and
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of people felt like they disrespecting the troops, they disrespecting it. So now at a concert, country music concert, where most of the people in the concert, I don't say most, but a lot of the people in the concert are off-duty police officers, off-duty firefighters, off-duty first responders, Marines. Some of the security people are military personnel that may be retired or on leave. Um, so now that this has taken place, we have this 9/11 post 9/11 spirit where we get together and we show support and we show love towards those people, because at the end of the day they were there trying to save lives. You see what I'm saying? So that's going to change. Like, let somebody get on their knee this Sunday,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, to protest police brutality. Let somebody get on their knee this Sunday, and I bet you this event would be used to shame that person. They
Yeah.
just brought it into it.
Yeah. I didn't even think about nothing like that, man. I know. Damn, I'm still trying to see what kind of gun that was, but he, like, when you look at the video, it just sounds like all you hear is a whole bunch of clapping.
Yeah, and had um, two windows in the hotel room facing the place, and the dude killed himself. This what triggered my conspiracy theorist mind. He killed himself. Like, so basically, we get no answers. This is just an awful thing that happened. He's dead now. How many major events where the person always die? We get no answers. We can't question them. Nothing. The only story we get is what we're told.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you pay attention to social media, you already hear the people who's about being armed. You already they going back and forth with the people that saying, "Oh, they need to take away guns now." I mean,
but see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. The type of gun that he used is a type of gun that's already not legal for us to go get.
Yeah.
We cannot get a fully automatic weapon. Okay? Yeah. And he used a fully automatic weapon. So unless you plan on making a big old magnet by the size of Lake Michigan to suck up all the guns from America, it ain't gonna work. Some things you had to do in the beginning, but how you gonna police that now?
That guy was reloading too, man, because he was out there.
He was going from window to window. That's one of the reasons why there was breaks in between, because he had two windows according to what they say, and it was breaks. And plus, he had to reload. You know, he dumped a clip, or I should say, magazine. Before I offend anybody, you dump a magazine, you have to reload it. But they empty fast, you know, especially when it's fully automatic.
I'm looking at some people got some pictures. They got pictures of when it was happening. Like, these are like great ass photographer pictures.
Well, this was a concert. You know, press was already there. This was a major event.
Yeah.
And everybody phone now. This is a white concert, so everybody got nice phones. Let's keep it real. And people's phones can take great photos now. You know. So everybody's a journalist.
Man, it's crazy. I actually had a bullet fly over my head one time, bro. Like, I can't even imagine how scary that was for them to have like multiple bullets just flying right past you.
And this was supposed to be
don't even know where they coming from.
This was supposed to be a family event, so there was kids out there.
Yeah.
That's gonna need counseling because it was pandemonium. Once folks start realizing folks is dropping, pandemonium ensued. People got trampled.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. People got trampled on, and that's just damn. That was a crazy. That is a really big tragedy right there. All those people. And then he okay. I see the number. It says 59, but 500 plus injuries.
Yeah, man. That means if he hit 550 people, 560 people, let's assume each person caught 1 to 2 bullets, right? Because it's a fully automatic. That means he shot at least how many rounds?
He had to shoot over he had to shoot at least 1,000. Because he had to shoot at least 1,000. Man, that boy was he was in the hotel like 32 floors up, and he was just, damn. And then they recovered 16 guns.
Yeah.
From his hotel.
Yeah.
And found 18 additional firearms, some explosives, and several rounds of ammunition in his home.
They're always gonna find something at the house, you know. Why get explosives if you plan on killing yourself?
Yeah, if he was going to go do all that, he knew he was going to die.
Why leave anything at home that he could use in the event? I'm gonna say the explosive for later when I respawn.
Damn, he did. Man, man. You know what? In my mind, like
What's up, Llama?
when I was listen, I mean, because I didn't hear, I saw all of the praying for Vegas first thing in the morning too. I actually got like this dude I chat with on Facebook, and he's from he was actually there, but he was good. Uh, so I was like, damn, I wonder what actually happened because I kind of don't be on social media that like Facebook that hard,
Hmm.
and
Just think about last night in Vegas was most of us on the East Coast asleep.
yeah. So when I woke up to that, man, I didn't actually look into the story until like I say after 12.
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't try to look into it until after that. Then when I saw, I was like, oh, damn, that was serious.
yeah.
The only thing that went to my mind, man, was the people that got hurt, man. The families, like, it's a serious ripple effect because all of those people know people. So the 59 that died, you gotta just feel bad for their family. The ones that hurt, you feel bad for, all those family members. I could have had a family member out there.
Yeah, I had a friend. I had a friend on Facebook take a picture of the event, and she took it. Let me repeat. She took a picture in front of the Las Vegas sign. She just recently moved to Las Vegas, and it's cool, Llama. She just recently moved to Las Vegas, and she took a picture in front of the Las Vegas sign yesterday morning. So she had did the check in that you do when something bad happens, so people can know you're all right.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, man. What my
Man, so what do you Oh damn! So I went black then. So what do you think they're gonna try to do? I
well,
know.
well, personally, I think they got multiple directions that they can go. They can go with the it's time to put all of the differences aside direction. So they put themselves on a high ground to start condemning people that quote unquote protest or disrespect the flag. That's one direction that I know they're going. They waiting for Sunday for somebody to kneel. They waiting for it. Then you got the going after the guns direction. And I haven't watched Donald Trump to see how his response was because everything he say is under microscope. So they waiting for him to say the wrong thing so they could jump on him. Like I saw what he said about Mexico, not Mexico, Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
In
Puerto
a
Rico.
tweet, he was like, Puerto Rico is like Mexicans with a New York accent or something like that. It was like, whoa, like the last thing you want to do is get those two people confused. The same thing with calling a Chinese man Japanese and Japanese Chinese and Korean. That's the last thing you want to do is get those groups confused. And I saw that tweet, and man, that was crazy.
Yeah, somebody had made a clip about because his son went on this I think this news show and talking about how somebody was disrespecting his dad and like they cursed towards his dad, and then in that clip though they was showing all of the clips with his
He
dad doing
cuss.
all that
Yeah,
cursing.
yeah.
It was like, man, how the hell you gonna talk about somebody using foul language? Your daddy used that shit religiously as the president of the United States.
Okay, here's my thing about cussing. So what? That's why I start. Like we put the office of the presidency on this pedestal, and I think we do that so we can go after them when they don't live up to the standard that we created for that office. F that, he's a dude that takes dumps, that catch diarrhea, that got all the issues we got. No man sits in that office and is great. I'd rather him cuss on TV than him calling me nigga when I leave the office. Call me a nigga to my face. Okay? That's what I'd rather have. Okay? Um,
I mean,
go
I
ahead.
mean, I would say there's certain positions that do require like class. Like you can't, even though he is a human, I understand that.
Cussing isn't
A pastor,
classless.
a pastor is a human as well.
Uh huh.
So, I mean, so if a pastor is up there on the pew just talking all reckless,
Like cussing.
I mean, some like certain curse words, like hell, or not. He can say like hell. They won't trip about hell or damn or something like that. When you start talking about like a pastor standing up there saying bitches and hoes, fuck niggas and stuff like that, like come on, man. It's like come on, bro. You up there like there's a certain way in certain positions.
But
You
see,
just
okay,
can't be regular.
let's talk
Can't
about
be regular.
let's talk about the pastor for a second. Okay, his whole job is about morality. So if his job is about morality, then he can't be doing things that's immoral. Okay, uh, that's the pastor. That's what's unique to a clergyman. His position is about morality. Therefore, how can you be immoral doing that job when you're according to your morality, foul mouth language, cussing is bad. But that's not the job of the presidency. For me, the job of the presidency is simply this. We got the three branches of government. We got the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. The executive branch is the one that execute mostly everything. The legislative branch make the laws. Executive branch execute the laws, enforce the laws. The judicial branch interpret the laws. Okay? Him cussing, especially when that's like, for example, Barack Obama, right? You never saw him smoke. You think he quit smoking?
No, he probably still does.
Now I can understand folks looking at Barack Obama as a role model, and he see himself as such, so he didn't want to smoke because he didn't want kids to smoke. I get that, but
Same thing with cursing.
is it though? Because the same people that get mad at Donald Trump cussing is the same people out here cussing at their kids or around their kids.
Yeah, but like when the president comes on a TV, I don't think you see a parental guidance saying, "All right, tell your kids to leave out the room because the president about to talk." No, every American sits in front of the TV and listen to what the pastor has to say. So he can't just sit there and say all type of bitches and hoes. You got kids watching you, so that's basically like you saying. Well, if your kid just turn around and just be like, man, dad, this bitch at school getting on my nerves, you're going to be like, huh? Like, you ain't going to support that type of language from him as a kid. So,
yeah, that'd be a wonderful teachable moment. The day one of my children come to me talking like that, that'd be a wonderful teachable moment of why we shouldn't call people that. Because nowadays it's not about just females; it's about people. We call certain dudes fit to that category as well. But I'm also going to explain to him what it means and why people say it. Now, when you get old enough and out my house, you have to make a choice. Is that how you're going to talk? Is that how you're not going to talk? But let me explain to you why you shouldn't talk like that. Now, I'm not advocating presidents should be cussing. I'm not saying that. Okay? What I'm saying is
it shouldn't be that serious.
We focusing too much on Donald Trump. Every 5 minutes something come out his mouth. Or I don't even follow him on Twitter. So I don't even know when he tweets some foolishness. Okay? But my life ain't changed yet since he been president. My life ain't been destroyed yet since he been president. Just like all of the Republicans said it was going to be the end of the world when the Affordable Care Act got passed and Obamacare got passed. My life ain't changed yet. Or I take that back. The Affordable Care Act did screw me. But, for the most part, it didn't destroy the country like they said it was going to destroy the country. You know what I'm saying? Everybody on the other side be crying wolf like the worst thing in the world is taking place. This is the worst thing. I saw Tom Hanks rock a shirt, said, 9/11 and 11/9, the two worst tragedies in American history. 9/11, of course, was, the Twin Towers, and 11/9 was when Donald Trump was elected.
Damn.
And I'm like, really? 9/11 the worst? Really? Not 9/11, I take that back. 11/9, Donald Trump being elected is the worst. 9/11 is an awful thing. It is. And we shouldn't be going around comparing which thing is worse than another thing. Because don't nobody want to honestly have that conversation. Because I can think of this one thing that lasted a long time that was really, really, really bad. You know what I'm saying? But don't nobody want to have that conversation.
Yeah. I heard. I think when somebody was talking about it on the radio, they were saying this was like this was the worst shooting on American soil.
Why people do that? Why they set themselves up for that? So what if only 5 people got shot? This is a tragedy, man. Why compare? Because all it's going to do is make somebody else come along and say, hey, actually,
I can do better.
Yeah, it wasn't. The shooting that happened, because but see, anything that's atrocious in this country that happened to any other group of people that aren't white Americans don't count on the record books. Okay? Tulsa don't count on the record books. Okay? Rosewood don't count on the record books. So that stuff is hidden history. All of the people that was bought and owned and then killed after that they was owned don't count in the record books. What counts is when Americans find themselves victims of a situation. When white Americans find themselves to be victims of a situation, then that tragedy counts.
Yeah. Now that you kind of put it that way, because when you think about, okay, so there was like a spree of videos that was dropping with cops killing unarmed black people.
Mm-hmm.
You did not get a reaction like this. It was like
he shouldn't have resisted.
Yeah, people found excuses like he shouldn't have resisted, or here's a new way to act when a cop pulls you over or something. But I know this is sad. 59 people were killed, but any life lost, we should act like this with any life lost.
Exactly. But what you gotta understand is we don't love life like that though. Okay? Here's what folks is sleeping on. Everything's connected. Once folks understand that everything's connected, they will see that we don't love life like that. Because if we love life like that, there would be no abortions. Okay? If we cherish life like that, there would be no abortions. There would be no homeless people. There would be all of these things that we walk by and don't touch. But we don't love life like that. Personally, some of us feel like there's too many people on the planet anyway. One less person you have to worry about. One less thug, or one less this, or one less that. We don't love life like that. The majority, which right now currently is white folks, they only can see for the most part. There's some white folks who can see past this. But they can only see in their matrix, in their world, which is when it happens inside of our dome of existence, our Truman Show, so to speak. The stuff that happens outside of that, I can't relate to it in the sense it doesn't bother me. It doesn't make my heart hurt like it do for this. Like for we talk about the troops, so it is what it is. I'm not mad at the state of reality. I just wish more people had the courage to acknowledge things is what it is. This is what it is. Don't get mad because somebody said it. Just accept it. Be open about what it is. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody is going to be friends. That's fine. Just don't act like it ain't this. You know, and you know, I watched the comments of the first video I watched. Dude was a firefighter. He was off duty. His wife was there, and her friend was there. And the first thing he could think about was getting his wife to safety, and then he went into first responder mode, right? And I watched this video. He was talking about how he was trying to get people to safety. He was letting the police that was already on duty there know, hey, I'm a firefighter, first responders. I found a designated safe area over here. He was doing his work. He was doing his job. He was being the hero that we, you know, tell them that they are. And I go to the comment section, and the first thing I start, it turned into this race thing. It turned into this. It turned into that. And I'm like, really, people? Can we analyze this tomorrow? Can we analyze this later? Right now, can we have a moment of, oh man, for the life lost and the 500 people that's going to be permanently affected physically by what took place, and all the other people that's going to be traumatized by witnessing what took place. The children's going to be traumatized. The people that was trampled, the people sitting in the hotel underneath that, they're going to be traumatized. Just, can we deal with what just happened on an emotional level before we start with the racism and all the other stuff, the conspiracy theories? Yo, I got a conspiracy theory. I believe that this is MK Ultra in effect. I believe that this dude was either not there and he was planted to be the scapegoat and there was multiple shooters, or he was there and he was a shooter, but he was mind controlled. Okay, I believe some far out stuff. I have no evidence to prove any of it, but what I do know is who benefits from this shooting.
Yeah. You know, when you start talking like that, folks get the cuckoo clock out.
Exactly. And Dave Chappelle said it best. Dave Chappelle said it best. They start labeling folks as crazy to dismiss them.
Yeah.
Okay? It's like, why is it that a pattern of folks in Hollywood go crazy?
Hey, another good question is, how much was that hotel he was in?
I don't know. It was a suite.
Yeah, that was an expensive hotel, and he's sitting up there like, okay, so now does this mean that people bags got to get checked when they go into hotels now? Because he went in there with some heavy ass artillery.
I bet you that hotel is doing that policy. Not to mention how many folks is going to have a hard time staying at that hotel. Now, that hotel is going to need some type of monetary compensation from the government to compensate for the money that they're going to lose. The Strip was closed. You know how much money didn't get made in Vegas during this whole period of time? It's a financial crisis in Vegas.
Yeah. And you know, the hotel ain't being selfish, but it is a lot of money they're losing right now. Because of this foolishness. It's a lot of money.
Yeah. Now, I'm anxious to see what Sunday going to look like. If anybody kneel in the support of police brutality against unarmed black and colored folks, or colored folks, or people of color, whatever the term of the day is.
No, I don't think. I think, you know what? This conversation is going to get brought up. Like, hey, I don't think it's a good idea to do that this Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be, a lot of patriots out there, and it's definitely not the week to do that.
But see, the folks is already mad, though. What, you going to get mad again? I thought you was already done. You burning tickets and jerseys.
Yeah, they still going, though. Definitely still going, because ain't nobody getting no refunds. So, yeah, I'm definitely... but I like I said, man, I haven't watched football like ever since. I don't even care to watch it, man. I be stuff like this when somebody just randomly, just out of the blue, just decides to kill as many people as he can before he kill himself. it's just what can you do? You can't even if you take guns away. There's nothing you can do. Like somebody can get a knife and just be like, or a sword, and just be like, well, I'm gonna chop as many heads as I can before I go ahead and stab myself in the heart.
The only thing that changes is how many people. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, because ultimately, man, somebody gonna try to take as many lives as they want. They gonna do it.
But here's what I know: if somebody trying to do a mass murder, right, and there's no guns available to do the mass murder, then they're going to use explosives. That's why we don't have as many bombings, okay? Because
Hmm.
we have guns. But if guns were hard to get, every ingredient we need to make an explosive already exists in Home Depot.
Yeah, we definitely got and you know what? And we got YouTube videos that show you how to do it too.
See, so it. I think the fight shouldn't be about the guns. I think the fight should be about the the moral conscience of this country as a whole. We need to get to a place because guns already always been, you know, during the Wild West and during early America, guns always existed. But
Yeah,
they weren't, if it wasn't for no major war or shootout or something, they didn't have 1920s, 30s, 40s. Mind you, I'm not talking about, when they descended on a black community and I'm talking about mass killings of everybody, unadulterated, just killing. They didn't have all these shootouts as frequently as we have them now. So what
but
changed?
we do agree this was definitely premeditated.
At what point does an event? At what point does an event constitute premeditation? And what I mean by that is, I don't see how it couldn't be premeditated. You book a hotel. This is premeditated. Mean I thought about it before I did it. It wasn't an act of passion. Okay, you book a hotel. You had to book the room that strategically positioned you above the event. Okay, you get 13 guns, they say, and you got, according to them, guns and bomb making material at the crib. You bring a hammer so you can bash the windows open, because the windows don't open on the 32nd floor. So he had to bash the windows open. That's
Damn.
nothing about that reeks active passion. How long does the passion last before you can say, before the time you decide to do it to the time that you do it, this is the act of passion?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely premeditated. Because
Now,
I mean,
go ahead.
was he was it? But the only thing is, was it a coincidence that the concert was that day, or was it just a plan that all right?
I think he booked that a week in advance, that room, I think, according to what they say. And the reason why I keep saying what they say is because I don't know. They said it. That's the only way I know, is that they said it. You know what I'm saying? And they haven't always been honest.
Yeah, and you know what else caught my attention? I was like, I saw some news today, a little news about it. I was like, God damn, they pulled his track record. Like
Exactly.
his track record was pulled ASAP. Like, how the fuck you get all this information for somebody who just blowed their brains out before you even got there? Like, but we do got databases with people info and now, but they had pictures of this guy, I think, at a bar or something.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, they just had like, and I guarantee you before the day over with, they're gonna probably know every family member.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, they already know. Whether they put it out there, I don't know. I don't know if he got any kids. I don't know. I know he had a girlfriend in that they talking about questioning, that they say is his girlfriend, but is it his girlfriend? I don't know. Okay, is this some? Is this like I said? I question everything because I look at what take place after something happened. Was that the intended outcome of the event? And right now is is the NFL's a big deal. When you got mainstream white America, the number one spending power in this country, talking about they done with the NFL, something got to happen.
Damn.
How did we think that was going to play out?
Yeah. We got
Have you ever heard of MK Ultra?
No, I haven't.
I'm gonna pull up an article and read it to you. Go ahead and say what you about to say.
I'm looking at because the news source I'm looking at CBS News, and it's showing a whole bunch of other people that was killed. Bernie Sanders. Yeah, man, this is definitely a tragedy that of course happened. I think we went like a whole month of tragedy. We had the hurricanes, then we had NFL wasn't a tragedy, but then this just people just killed.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, you go ahead and read it.
All right, Project MK Ultra, also called the CIA Mind Control Program. Now, mind you, this is declassified documents from the CIA. Okay, it's code name for a program of experiments on human subjects, at times illegal, designed and undertaken by the United States CIA. Experiments on humans were intended to identify and develop drugs and procedures to be used in interrogations and torture in order to weaken an individual and force confession through mind control. Organized through the Scientific Intelligence Division of the CIA, the project coordinated with the Special Operations Division of the U.S. Army Chemical Corps. The operation began in the early 1950s and was officially sanctioned in 1953. Was reduced in scope in 1964, further curtailed in 1967, and officially halted in 1973. The program engaged in many illegal activities, including the use of unwitting U.S. and Canadian citizens as its test subjects, which led to the controversy regarding its legitimacy. MK Ultra used numerous methodologies to manipulate people's mental state and alter brain function, including this is a new word for me. Surreptitious. Oh, wow. Abuse, as well as other forms of psychological torture. The scope of the project MK Ultra was broad, with research undertaken in 80 institutions, including 44 colleges and universities, as well as hospitals, prisons, and pharmaceutical companies. The CIA operated through these institutions using front organizations, although sometimes top officials in these institutions were aware of the CIA involvement, as the U.S. Supreme Court later noted in CIA versus Sims. But this is, I'm gonna put this article in the
chat.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna put it in the chat, and I'm gonna put it in the description. Because I've been looking at MK Ultra for a minute now, and it's just, you ever seen that movie George Clooney did called Men Staring at Goats?
Nah.
Okay, it was a while back. The dude that played the bad guy in the first Iron Man, the one that had the big Iron Man suit, he's in it too. I think he was in like the Big Lebowski or something, but he's in it too. And basically they were using drugs. It was a comedy when they did the movie, but this project, they say a lot of folks are like the Manchurian Candidate. They sleep until they triggered and they activated and they do stuff. And
Hey, so okay. So what if what you're saying, say for instance, let's just be hypothetical and say what you're saying is true. This was put together and planted. That that would mean that the government on purpose slayed as many people as they could to get a point across to change the direction of people's mindset.
Yeah, see, what we do is we put the government on this pedestal of morality. My president can't cuss. You know, instead of acknowledging the wickedness that they are, because most of them people wicked. Okay, they don't care about you. They don't care about me. All they care about is their interest, and their interest means a lot of folks got to die in order for them to achieve what they want to achieve. And that's what we don't want to admit about our and many other governments across the world.
Mm. Yeah, but I wonder if a great soundbite would be dropped. Not a soundbite, but like a video of something like this actually being planned, and the whole American people see it. What would happen?
It would take somebody who's courageous on the inside, that's willing to die.
To put that information out there.
Mm-hmm. Yo, Snowden had to go to Russia, bruh. Snowden bounced. I keep looking to the side because you're over here, but I'm not looking at the camera. Snowden bounced. Why?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't ready to die. There's a video of this dude on Montel Williams' show. All right, he was talking about how the CIA had some informants, two particular dudes that worked with the CIA who was in charge of the big cocaine epidemic that turned into the crack epidemic. Okay, and how it was all to fund a military operation that the CIA started in Nicaragua or whatever country that they was working in, the countries that we call it.
If you pay attention to all the latest movies, like Narcos and other shows, man, they're clearly saying that the government was a part of this.
Now check it. That dude that came out and put it all on blast, he supposedly committed suicide with two, not one, but two gunshots to the back of his head.
Damn. I ain't gonna commit suicide.
Exactly.
He shot. He ain't gonna shoot himself in the back of the head. And who is even gonna try to do that? Like, I'm gonna do it different this time.
His name is Gary Webb. Let me look him up real quick. Yeah, man, it's crazy, and we going through our daily lives. We don't even want to think about it like that because we will all be depressed if we just saw the truth of things, of everything, because everything's connected.
Man. So, all right. So we are deeply deeply sorry for the families that are gonna have to go through this tragedy. This is gonna be something that get talked about for how long you think this is gonna last?
This is a big deal. This is gonna take over the news cycle for a long time. Let me read this paragraph I found on Wikipedia about the death of Gary Webb. Webb was found dead in his Carmichael home December 10th, 2004, with 2 gunshot wounds to the head. His death was ruled a suicide by the Sacramento County Coroner's Office. After local paper reported that he died from multiple gunshots, the coroner received so many calls about Webb's death, the county coroner, Robert Lyons, issued a statement confirming Webb had committed suicide. When asked by local reporters about the possibility of 2 gunshots being a suicide, Lyons replied, "It's unusual in a suicide case to have 2 shots, but it's been done in the past, and it is in fact a distinct possibility." News coverage noted that there were widespread rumors on the internet at the time that Webb had been killed as retribution for his Dark Alliance series published 8 years before. But Webb's ex-wife Susan Bell told reporters that she believed Webb had committed suicide. Yeah, because she's scared. The way he was acting, it would be hard for me to believe it was anything but suicide, she said, according to Bell. Webb had been unhappy for some time over his inability to get a job at another major newspaper. He had sold his house the week before his death because he was unable to afford the mortgage. Is it possible to shoot yourself twice in the head? Like that first shot don't drop you? You can squeeze twice? Or is it a fully automatic pistol? What happened?
Maybe it's reflex.
Or maybe he clenched and clenched again before he fell. Maybe it's possible, but it sure looks suspect. If he committed suicide and he shot himself twice in the head, God has a funny way of doing things. Like, yo, I'm gonna let his suicide look suspicious. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let it look like a straight up suicide because he just published this series 8 years earlier called The Dark Web. That he couldn't get no more work after that. He was done as a journalist. Was talking about, and I'm also gonna put this in the description. And was also talking about the article that he wrote with the investigation of the Contras and the CIA and all that stuff. They basically ended his career.
Hey, so let's kind of go in more about the NFL protest right now. First of all, I want to make clear that we're concentrating too much on the flag about this protest when the protest is about police brutality toward African Americans. So that being said, when you was like, people are probably not going to do this this Sunday, certain people probably won't, but I think some people that still understand how important it is to keep this protest alive, and for people to just talk, go ahead, let's get this conversation going about what we're gonna do about these cops killing unarmed people. Or unless, if they're gonna stop kneeling, they're gonna have to figure out some other way to get the conversation brought up.
Well, see, that's what folks wanted all along. They wanted for, like, you got two different type of people that's against the kneeling. One type, they don't agree that there's a problem. There's that group. They're quick to turn on the football players. What you need to be doing is thanking God that you work and you make all this money and blah blah blah. Nobody rich and black can challenge the status quo of this country on the behalf of non-rich black folks. You have to be poor and black to challenge the status quo of this country, because if you rich and black, how dare you millionaire, you spoiled brats. Look what we have allowed you to achieve in this country. How dare you bite the hand that feeds you.
You lucky we gave you a drop of this water.
You're not allowed to advocate for others as a rich black person.
Yeah.
At no point did Colin Kaepernick ever say he knelt because he felt he was oppressed. But that's what it turned to. They try to control the narrative of the protest, of what we're talking about. So,
hey, listen. So, how many people have died in Puerto Rico?
I don't know, but Puerto Rico is fucked up right now. Daddy, if you're watching, I'm sorry I cuss. Puerto Rico's in bad shape right now. And
Yeah.
As I watch the story unfold and the people are commenting, there should be a national day of no comments from nobody, because man, we get on this internet and we just let things fall out of our mouth because we think we know something, you know, and blaming Puerto Rico that a hurricane came and just destroyed the country. Really?
Yeah.
What does Puerto Rico debt or financial choices or whatever happened prior to this hurricane, what that got to do with anything? Yo, I watched the video of the I think it was the mayor of San Juan, like talking about how, you know, she had these two big thick binders the FEMA wanted, and they want to know what her priorities are, and it's like, look, man, I thought I'd never have to do this, but I'm begging, we dying.
Yeah, that's what I heard that too.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, that takes some swallowing of pride to say to yo, look, man, forget all that other stuff. We dying. Can you please help us? And so, man,
just think about people from Puerto Rico now. Like, what if they still saying stuff about needing help? People gonna be like, well, we too busy with Las Vegas right now.
I don't know because Las Vegas, if anybody in America is too busy to help Las Vegas, it's because they're too busy watching. I mean, too busy to help Puerto Rico because they're too busy watching. Okay, because right now there's no work to be done other than counseling work, cleanup work, hospital work, and rehabilitation work, but there's no mass effort that needs to be done in Las Vegas. Okay, but that's going to control the news cycle. We need to watch if any legislation is about to get passed or had gotten passed. We need to watch all the stuff. The right hand not supposed to show the left hand the left hand not supposed to show the right hand what he's doing. We need to watch all the stuff that could be taking place right now because we being distracted. Puerto
16.
Rico, go ahead.
16 people died. At least, they said at least 16 people died in Puerto Rico from the storm.
And how many got to die? Before, you know. I ain't gonna front. It's a big endeavor because when you look on that map, Puerto Rico ain't just right there. Puerto Rico's ways off. So to get everything you need on planes and out there, and see, here's what folks understand. There's like warehouses of stuff, but their infrastructure is jacked up. They can't get it nowhere. So they need choppers down there to take this stuff to different locations. It's so much that's needed, you know, and I don't understand why we even having a conversation about, you know, who fought, you know, and it's like, look, man, what y'all gonna do?
Damn, they just sitting updates. 42 guns, 23 was in the hotel, 19 was at home.
Well, who count the first batch of guns? Whose job was it to count the guns?
What is the point of knowing how many guns he had?
Because all that's going to do is rile up people. Who needs that many guns? Do you know at least one person today has been changed in the sense that they once was for the Second Amendment, now they're not so sure, and they might just switch to be against it?
Yeah.
They playing chess with us. That's what folks need to understand. They playing chess with us.
Man, look at this shit. Yeah, Puerto Rico is like, yeah.
You know, I was when Jennifer Lopez first announced that she's giving $1 million, I have to admit I felt some kind of way. But as I sit back and I look and I'm like, you know what? I understand. But originally I felt some kind of way, not because she's giving $1 million, but because she I don't know if she gave or said anything about giving for Harvey, for Irma, you
Mm.
know, so many places that were ravaged that's in the Caribbean also.
Yeah, but even though you say that, we do we should be allowed to be able to give what we want to give, Sam.
Yeah, we should be allowed to give what we want to give, but one, you announced that you giving to Puerto Rico. Maybe she announced, maybe she didn't announce, but it got out that she giving $1 million to Puerto Rico. Why you broadcast what you doing for your home?
Yeah.
Okay, and is the act of you giving the $1 million, uh, but quiet about giving during Harvey, during you know, Selena had family affected by Harvey. I don't recall hearing J Lo say anything about that. She played Selena in a movie, you know,
Yeah.
but now that Puerto Rico has been affected, yo, I'm going all out. And which you should go all out for your home, but still, my initial response was to feel some kind of way. But then, you know, I I don't know what to feel. I'm tired of judging people. I don't want to judge people no more. We do what we think we can. We do what we think is best at the time. And I'm tired of judging people. That seems to be all we do is just judge
Hey,
people.
we definitely do that a lot. I feel that most people don't accomplish what they need to accomplish, that what they want to accomplish in their life because they're too busy worrying about other people. I'm telling you, I think a lot of people waste a lot of time worrying about what somebody else is doing, or just gossiping about somebody else. Too many people do that. Like, man, when I look at my days, I be so wrapped up, and I don't like being busy. I like being productive. So, but I be too busy either working out, studying, working on, my business, going to work, trying to spend time with my family, because I don't want to neglect time with them, doing this other stuff. But all of that stuff right there, man, that is a lot of stuff to do on a daily basis. So I want to be really having time to really pay attention to anybody else or worry about other people.
And just look at how abundant your life is by
Yeah,
focusing
exactly.
and by
Yeah.
focusing on your family, focusing on what you deem to be important. You're not oblivious to what goes on in the world, but you're making the most. You're putting the most effect on the world that you can affect, and that's your home. Now, just imagine if every other man who has a wife and kids performed like you are right now. There will be less.
Especially in the black homes.
There'll
It,
be
it, it would be
less
amazing.
less drama, more productivity, more exchange of ideas, more building. You know, because we wouldn't have time for the shenanigans.
Yeah, exactly, man. You know, I kind of talk when I be talking to my wife sometimes. I I don't want to just make it seem like she is the luckiest woman in the world, but then I be thinking about the women out there who are single parents, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you don't
Who,
feel appreciated. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I mean, I think it's easy to forget um how great of a position you could potentially be in. You know what I'm
Or
saying? I
how
think
bad
it's
of a position you could
that you
potentially be
could.
in that you're
Yeah, I think
not
we
in.
forget that,
Yeah, we
and
do. We do.
and that can equate to like kind of what these people went through last night. Like, you know, the people that didn't go there, that was probably supposed to go there.
Yeah,
Just think about their mindset right now.
yeah.
Like, damn,
That could have been
I,
me.
that could have been me because I was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think damn, it was a quote by Marcus Aurelius. Because he always liked to talk about, he always talked about being in the present, just trying to take, you know, consume, think about where you at right now, and know you're gonna die. This is gonna happen, but kind of just still stay motivated to do what needed to be done, just to kind of keep yourself in check. And if I think if everybody think about how much time you actually got left on Earth, you can't really say, "Oh, I'm gonna put this off tomorrow. I'll take care of that next week." Like if you really think about that, how much time do I actually got on this Earth? You will be less likely to put stuff off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If
You'll be.
if you had a countdown clock to your last minute, yeah,
And yeah, we I think we forget how precious life is. We really forget that, and we forget a lot of stuff, man. It's just that's why I kind of stay away from TV shows and stuff, because I think TV shows can sometimes dictate how you are as a person, because you seeing how somebody else act all the time. Like I think women need to pay attention to these shows they look at with these, the proclaimed independent women who, they're with these guys who's making a lot of money, and they're act with the way they acted though. Like you gotta, I think some of these women gotta, be careful about watching too many of those shows, because those
yeah,
women are on there fighting and
and
gossiping
it's
all the
not
time.
real.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not like it's scripted. Like most of those women, they're probably fighting in the show, and then later on, they're chilling with each other.
Or some of the women that cool in the show don't even talk off season.
Yeah, yeah. So, folks, these reality shows, like you know what, the '90s had killer shows, man. The '90s, when you think about it,
Yeah,
they had killer shows. What we got now is whack as hell.
it's
Like,
lazy. That's what it is. I ain't got to pay for no special effects. I ain't got to do nothing. All I got to do is get these people in this room off some stupid premise, whether the premise is basketball wife, Hollywood ex, baby mama, side chicks, whatever the
yeah,
premise of the show is, and folks is glued to it. Even in the '90s, we was watching Jerry. You know what I'm saying? Jerry was king of the world in the '90s. Jerry, Ricky Lake,
yeah, yeah.
all those
Gerald.
shows. Jenny Jones, I remember Jenny Jones.
Yeah, man. But I just, and it's nothing wrong with looking at television. Nothing wrong with that. But I heard this one guy say, it's like, but whatever you consume too much of, will eventually you will become it. So I think we have to start putting in check of what
It's
we consume
balance. It's
on
balance.
it. Yeah, you gotta have that yin and
Balance.
that yang. You can't just,
So many people out of balance.
yeah, you can't overdo it with the social media and TV shows and stuff, man. You got that. You really have to keep in check what you're consuming on the daily,
Yep.
because it will
Because
become.
and here's what a lot of folks don't want to admit. Everybody think that they're strong-minded individual. Well, there's a lot of folks that's not. There's a lot of folks that's lost in their own universe and don't know what their personal life direction is, and they don't stand on nothing. So it's easy for them to go along with anything. A lot of folks
Yeah.
aren't strong-minded, and folks that aren't strong-minded, I'm not going to admit to that. They're not going to admit that to themselves. They're just going to live their life blaming other people for their problems, and not taking responsibility for choices that they've made.
Fuck, I really hate spell check sometimes. It just really fucked up something I was trying to write real quick. It really messed it up real bad, because the word it replaced with what I wanted to actually say. It was just like, damn. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, man, I think, yeah, this is sad. All these people were killed, man,
Yeah, my heart
and
goes out.
nobody's gonna get any answers.
Yeah, because the dude's dead.
Yeah, the dude's dead, so
So
it's
there's
like,
no justice.
yeah, it won't be no justice on this at
It's
all.
just a tragedy. Now let's talk about this. Is this man a terrorist?
Somebody's gonna drop a book though. Is he a terrorist? Yeah, he is.
What is a terrorist?
I mean, a terrorist would have to be anybody who brings harm to like the U.S. citizens.
So it
Like
has to do with the country.
yeah, it's about people harming a lot of U.S. citizens, a lot of U.S. citizens, right?
Well, I don't know.
Do you have to be a foreigner to be a
No, you don't
terrorist?
have to be a foreigner to be a terrorist, but that's not
Okay.
the only standard or metric in which we use to define what a terrorist is. A terrorist has some type of political agenda.
Oh,
Okay, I'm doing this because you got XYZ in your Guantanamo and I want them free, or the dude that hijacked the plane in Air Force One, or there's always some type of agenda,
well, you can't say this with him.
but we as black folks, we are going through so much trauma that we have a problem with white folks not being called terrorists when they do stuff that's terrorist acts. Had this been a brown person, the first thing they was going to say was he Muslim.
You know what? I saw that post. I saw a lot of people posting that, saying that this is what a terrorist looked like when they were showing that guy's picture.
Yeah,
I saw a lot of people doing that.
and I'm like, there's no terrorist uniform. There's no terrorist country of origin. Like all the terrorists came from this one place and they all look like this. But
Yeah, yeah. Me, man, I don't even really I don't care to give him a label. The only
yeah,
thing is we just need to worry about like we just lost 50 plus people
uh-huh.
and we got over 500 that are injured. That's
Yeah.
all we need to be worried about, really. Like, anytime we have issues like this, somebody dies, somebody get hurt. Let's just worry about getting the person taken care of first before we start just trying to speculate and come up with
All right.
you know
So
reasons.
I just went to Google and typed definition of terrorist.
Terrorist.
A person who uses unlawful violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in its pursuit of political aims.
Hmm.
4 commercial aircraft were hijacked by terrorists. That's it used in a sentence. And then the adjective, that was the noun definition. Now the adjective of terrorist is unlawful using violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims, which is a terrorist organization, basically, when they say it like that, a terrorist organization. But Latin terror, French terrorist, English terror, terrorist, late 18th century, the etymology of the word, the origin of the word. But so according to that definition, is
Well, I
he a
guess it's
terrorist?
no because we don't know his political aim.
So that being said, are we allowed to change the definition of terms so they apply to the situation we want them to be they apply to the situation we want to label?
Yeah, because I think anybody who does something like that, they got to be they can't be a citizen after something like that.
Oh, so had he lived, we
Yeah, they
revoking
should.
his citizenship?
Yeah, we definitely are. You killing that many people for obviously no reason. Like what?
Where do
No,
you where do you put that non-citizen? Do you kick him out the country?
now I think we actually torture them. I think we need to enact some torture in the USA. Like we have to really like come on. I ain't talking about for everybody, but like people we actually know done it. yeah, we got to get some torture going on so we can like put fear into other people that would that'll try to aim higher than the person before them. Because every time you get a copycat or somebody who wants to like make a point, they always try to do it bigger than the last person.
Yeah, it gets bigger and bigger. Now let me ask you, come going down this definition rabbit hole. What's the definition of racism?
Hmm. Racism. Not sure. No, not now. If you want, what's my what I think racism is? I don't even know. I don't even want to say because I don't know the correct thing
Well,
for it.
well, well. Can black people be racist?
Hey, you know what? I think I did read that definition, and then it was saying based off that definition, black people can't be racist. What is that? What is the definition of that?
Well, where first of all, let me tell you where I'm getting this definition, because I think that matters. I'm at Google. Okay, that's where I'm at. I'm at Google Diction. I typed in definition, right? So I typed in racism. Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against someone of a different race based on the belief that one's own race is superior. Can black people do that? Can we be prejudiced? Can we discriminate? Or can we antagonize another race based off of the belief that our own race is superior? Can we do that?
No, we're not in a position to.
To what?
We're not. We're
To
not
what?
in a superior position.
No, 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 no. Let me reread it. No one is in a superior position. Okay?
Oh, you talking about in America?
No, no. I'm going by the words used in this definition. Okay?
Okay, 'cause we know the white race is in a
Pre-
superior position.
Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against someone of a different race based off the belief that one's own race is superior. Now,
Yeah, yeah. If you put it like that,
well,
yeah.
that's the definition that I read the first time. So, is the second part. The belief that all members of each race possesses characteristics or abilities specific to that race, especially so as to distinguish it as inferior or superior to another race or races. What has happened is racism has been redefined. We've changed the definition of racism because in order for now, because we don't have the ability to institutionally oppress another group of people, we can't be racist. All my life, what I just read to you is what I believe racism was. It's behavior based off of your belief. A behavior meaning mistreatment, a prejudice, discrimination based off of, it wasn't until the last 5 years for me that I learned that it now has to do with your ability to actually oppress someone. And because we don't have the ability as a group of people to actually oppress someone, then we can't be racist. So I just thought that was, like I said, I went down the definition dictionary rabbit hole, and I just found that to be fascinating. Is it okay for us to change the definition of terms?
Of racism?
Of terms, period. If something meant this all the time, is it okay for us now to say, no, I don't mean that no more. It means this now.
I don't know. I know they do that a lot though.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay attention to what the aftermath of this event, this tragedy that took place in Las Vegas, and I'm curious to see how next Sunday is going to play out. I'm curious to see what the conversation is going to be for this week. I'm curious to see if Shannon Sharp is going to have something to say, because I'm not the only person thinking how I'm thinking. You know, somebody else is going to say, you know, how this going to affect the protest.
Nah, you know what is gonna change is, I ain't gonna lie, it is kind of irritate me somewhat when you go to these restaurants and stores and everybody got this fucking donation shit going on. Like,
you sound like you have a problem donating.
I don't, man. It just need to be like, shit. It's donations everywhere going on. Like, most of these, I guarantee you, bro. I don't care what nobody say. Majority of these big ass corporations are capitalizing on this goddamn donation BS.
Look, if I start a foundation and I'm the CEO of that foundation, I get to set my own salary, and my salary is $100,000 because we not that big, okay? So,
exactly.
So we not that big, but my salary is $100,000, and I got my administrators, they salaries, and then we got to pay all these bills. So after every dollar you give us, only 14 cents is being going to the donated cause. The operation costs. And the business, nonprofit organizations is a business. Folks get jobs. Folks are employed. You know, they're in business for the sake. They just don't have to pay taxes. It's the ultimate loophole.
Mm-hmm. They definitely making a killing.
And they don't have a product.
Situations.
They don't make a product.
They're making a killing, man. Do you want to? And then I'm saying here paying for my sandwich and shit. Do you want to pay $1 for such and such? Like, damn. And hey, look. Hey, it's dead ass wrong too, because you get put in a corner because it's almost like it's okay.
Nah, this is how I address it. Because you feel shamed into doing it. This is how I addressed it.
Exactly.
This pop up every time I come here. I was just in here an hour ago. So I gave in. Every time I go to McDonald's, if I go to McDonald's, I have to admit I haven't been going to McDonald's like I used to.
Yeah.
But I was asked in. So if every time I'm asked I say yes, is that good for my personal finances?
Yeah.
That's why I don't care. Because nope. Taco Bell ass, Dollar Store ass, Whole Foods ass, everywhere ass. So you going and doing transactions, doing. The only person that I know for a fact don't ask is Quick Trip. Quick Trip wants you in and out of there. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
They don't even you ain't got to put your pen in on your card. Hey, ran, approved, gone. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So nah, don't feel no kind of way. People watching, and then people paying for your food.
Yeah, man. I mean, that sounds crazy. I just be like, God damn, shit. Can I go anywhere without people asking for a donation?
I don't feel bad to say no. It's okay to say no. We were programmed that saying no only is good when it comes to telling a man no about sex. Other than that, no is not good to say. Nah,
hey, that bullshit need to stop.
What? Which part?
That goddamn telling the man no.
Well, why you say that? Are you segueing to a whole nother show? Why are you saying that, sir?
Yeah, they gotta be another show, because that's a serious topic right there. I think some people think that topic is a joke. Because I really believe if it's okay for you to be like, no, I don't think you was on your best behavior this week, huh? Be like, shit. You might well just say I'm getting. You might well just give me a pass, and get.
No, you can't have a pass, because I'm giving you a pass is me relinquishing control over your sexual reproductive system, and I must have control over your sexual reproductive system, and just so I'm not misunderstood, I'm speaking as if I'm the woman towards the man. Women fight for the right to have control over their bodies. At the same time, they use manipulation to control the men in their lives' bodies.
Yeah, that shit has to stop.
And we supposed to be talking about shooting folks.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe next week we'll have that conversation where we're talking about no means no.
Yeah, I think we probably do need to get back onto the being a man.
Being a man.
Being a man. Yeah, we got to, because we got to get that knowledge out there for I mean, not just knowledge, but just get the conversation out there too. Because I think this conversation of marriage is just like they it's coded with, oh yeah, going to church and all that make everything better in your marriage. Like,
no, what going to church does, potentially, not guaranteed, because you might have a crappy church, but what going to church can potentially do for your marriage is put you around people to help you have the tools to have a more successful marriage. Because there are some churches that invest in couples groups that job is to help people have a better marriage. Not all churches do that. Some churches about getting your money, and some people, it's not just the job of the church. It's the job of everybody who claim to love those two individuals to help them have a better marriage. But most people don't take on that responsibility. It's not my job to help you have a better marriage. Well, if I love you as a brother, or if I love you as a sister, then it's my job to make sure that your marriage is one of the best marriages that you can have. Any way I can help assist you in that. That's where our job should be as people who claim to love one another. Because if we treat each other, if I loved you the way I love myself, then I'll be doing things like that for you. That's why the golden rule is so awesome.
Yeah, that's Christ's last rule, right?
Last rule, I don't know. I didn't count the order, but do unto others that you have them do unto you.
Nah, I think it was where I'm not probably precise as well, but I thought it was love thy neighbor
like you love thyself. Yeah. That could be. But see, here's the catch-22 to that. A lot of folks don't know how to love themselves. So how can I love my neighbor when I hate me? Oh, I saw this. I don't know if it was a meme or something, but it blew my mind. Okay? Folks say, or like to say, that black folks act like crabs in a barrel. Right?
Oh, yeah, I heard that plenty of times.
But they fail to recognize that a barrel is not the crab's natural environment.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, it just, for me, that was so profound. You know what I'm saying? The barrel is not where the crab belongs.
We got put in the barrel.
Okay? So they're not equipped to deal with the barrel. The only tools that they grab is their pinchers. They can't even grab with their legs.
Yeah.
Profound. I think I'm gonna leave it on that. I'm in on that note. Crab in the barrel.
Yeah. So we're gonna that's it for today's show. Say condolences to all the people that's no longer with us, and speedy recovery to the people that are injured. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and I just pray no one ever has to experience something like that, because it sucks.
Yeah, it has to happen again, though. It will happen again.
Oh, it will, but I don't want it to. That's all I'm saying.
We got a lot of unstable people in this world, man. I told you.
I'm not totally convinced that it's, we like to throw mental health out there like that's everybody's problem. My belief, my overstand is that folks is either being used as scapegoats that we drop the mental. It's always mentals, by the way, when it's white folks. When it's everybody else, they terrorists. But it's mental when they white folks. I'm just saying. But
I think it's mental for everybody.
We use the mental, bruh. I believe. I put it in the article. Go and read that MK Ultra. Go watch you some YouTube videos on MK Ultra. Do that. I believe there's more to it than always meet the eye. And we just don't want to believe that that's the world we live in. We in this matrix. Where we live in, man. Somebody called it in. All right, we need Operation a poker chip is a go. The phone ring, words happen, and then Buddy eyes glaze over, and he's off to it. We think that's TV, Hollywood, and movies, man.
Wouldn't that be something if that is actually true?
And there's no way to prove it. So I'm crazy for bringing it up.
Hey, if that's true, we have to really believe that the aliens gave them that weapon.
Why? In order for us to have aliens, this Earth got to be a globe that you can leave. And there got to be other planets. But if it is a flat plane, where do aliens come from?
I don't even see how it could be a flat plane.
How why not? When we gonna have that debate, sir? I want to have a debate. You round Earth versus me flat Earth. When we gonna have that debate, sir? You do your research. Take all the time you need. Let me know when you ready.
Man, there's no way it's flat, man. It just does not make any sense.
Why don't it make any sense?
Because Albert Einstein figured out one of the laws by looking up at the stars behind the sun and saw that they was bending with gravity.
Do you know what stars look like in a telescope?
It's like they're nothing but like planets. They're nothing but really like what planets, right? Dead planets?
No, stars are supposedly other suns far away.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But in a telescope, even planets look similar to stars in a telescope. And now we're talking about a telescope that Albert Einstein used. So we're not talking about one that at the Hobby Lobby in 2017 or one that's this big super telescope. We're talking about a 1945 telescope.
No. No, Albert Einstein didn't use his telescope. It was some guys on the expedition who actually used a real thorough telescope. One of the most expensive telescopes back then.
Okay.
Like serious telescope.
All right. Well,
they had to do it during an eclipse because that's the only way you can like look straight at the sun and kind of see the stars behind it. They had to do it because they missed the first time, but after that they always had to do it during an eclipse. And you know, an eclipse happened a lot often than we know.
Yeah, because
it happens a lot.
We only focus on the eclipse that happened over our heads.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
over other parts of the earth. And those telescopes, they're usually massive and they can't be moved like that.
Yeah, they have to actually put those telescopes together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got to put them together.
There are so many questions about the earth that aren't answered. Why is it that we can see over the horizon further than the curvature of the earth, when the curvature of the earth in the dictate that you shouldn't be able to see anything on this side of the planet because it's over the curve. But if you got a strong enough telephoto looms on a clear day, you can see further than you're supposed to be able to see. Okay? That, in addition to, if the sun was actually 93 million miles away, we wouldn't have no rays of light shooting off in different directions behind the cloud. It would be coming, it'd be 93 million miles away, it's all hitting us the same. 93 million miles away, it will be the same temperature in Antarctica as it is in the Sahara Desert. Okay, what? Because the way the Earth turned, Them rays done got weak.
Yeah, it's on the tip.
93 million miles away, the hottest point at the equator. Oh, because it done went down to the poles. Those sun rays all of a sudden got hella weak, but it was strong enough to make it 93 million miles. But them last few thousand miles on the planet is weak. That don't make no sense.
We need to. Hey, when Elon Musk builds that
rocket that can't go nowhere,
that spaceship that's supposed to take us to Mars, we need to get on that thing here and go see, and then look back at the Earth soon.
I can't wait till it's the Mars rover program is busted, like the lunar program is busted. Don't nobody believe we went to the moon and recorded all that stuff. Everybody believed that was fake. I can't wait till folks start believing the same thing happened to Mars. How on earth are you remote controlling a car from Earth?
Oh, you talking about the thing that's on the moon?
No, on Mars. The Mars little rovers, Independence, and that other one. How you remote controlling the car on Earth? They say they're giving it commands, predetermined commands, that it take time to get over there, and then it's going to do it, and then you got to wait. And okay. Mars.
That's that new planetary network.
Okay, the Mars is the desert. Mars is probably the Gobi Desert, or some sand lot in Area 51 where they Google can't take good pictures. GPS not real.
Man, can you just think about the radiation on that router?
What router?
That router that's sending. I mean, well, it's not. It's actually a satellite, but the radiation that that goddamn satellite is sending to Mars. That's serious.
That's if it's sending a signal to Mars.
Hey, I can't wait to meet I hope I get to see this in my lifetime when somebody create an invention that could use power from around us.
Oh, like Nikola Tesla?
Yeah, because we got like atoms.
Hey, how about me and you invent that? Nikola Tesla already did it.
Yeah, but the government got his stuff.
But why don't we learn what we got to learn, and we start making free electricity and see if it's true that the government gonna ghost us? We do like a reality show. We stay on webcams the whole time. You stream our work, right? So we make it and see if the government kick in our door and we never leave. Everybody gonna be watching the conspiracy of the government kiboshing free electricity.
The phones are gone.
The line gonna click out.
Yeah. From this day forward, our phones are tapped.
Yeah, they for some reason they're gonna be a internet blackout over the places we working at.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like that shit. That invention would have changed the game. Like a lot of people would have lost money.
Yeah, but see, Nikola Tesla his research was being financed by J.P. Morgan Chase, if I'm not mistaken, and he had so much interest in copper. Okay, so I can't have you coming up with wireless electricity when I got all this money invested in copper. Copper is going to be the means by which we transmit electricity. So he pulled all his financial backing from him. He died a poor man.
Yeah. And then he had them issues with
Thomas Edison too.
Yeah, Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison really went after him when he started the AC current.
Yeah.
Because he was interfering with his DC current.
Yo, it's amazing. It's amazing. And now anybody, because there's people that's recreated his work. Anybody that come up with a device that makes free energy, cold energy, whatever you want to call it, that don't require fossil fuels, the feds come, take their work, they end up dead sometimes, and that's it.
Hey, and if you really just look at all the riches, like I'm talking about, when I say rich people, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the ones that we kind of don't hear about.
Mm-hmm.
Those motherfuckers were criminals first.
Yep.
They were criminals.
Yep. The Kennedys.
And then they love to shoot down drug dealers. And them motherfuckers were breaking the law just as well before they.
Do you remember American Gangster?
Yeah, with John Dillinger. No. That's not.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington. Yeah, you know what? You're gonna make me watch that tonight too.
You remember that old, like Italian dude or whatever, that had that big old mansion or whatever? He ended up having to get his product from Denzel, and he felt like that was beneath him. Go rewatch the movie. There's this old. He's not old, but we talking big, sprawling, wealthy mansion. Like he's like so many steps removed from drugs, but he's old way, and Denzel is new way. I'm getting my stuff from the source. You know what I'm saying? He had no middlemen. So this dude had to end up getting it from Denzel character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hey, that's what it is. We don't have any poppy fills. This dude, the dude I was telling you about, Gary Webb. These guys that was giving it to Rick Ross, the one that took the fall, black dude selling drugs, but they was getting like tons and tons of cocaine a week through the country for like years.
You talking about the real Rick Ross?
Yeah,
right?
the real Rick Ross, not the wannabe. He was getting that stuff in the country for years. You mean to tell me you getting tons of cocaine in this country and nobody knows? Nobody knows it but me. No, they know. And as long as everybody getting a cut of the profits, we ain't gonna mess. But the moment you piss us off and you start getting greedy or you mess up the status quo, we got a problem. You got to go.
Yeah.
And you the fall guy.
That's what happened to Pablo Escobar.
You take all the risk and they reaping all the reward.
Yeah. All right, folks. I'm pretty sure y'all enjoyed, some of our wisdom and, our take on, the incident that happened last night in Las Vegas. So, what we want you to do is take away from this, whoever you love or whatever, just, your day is not promised, so you may want to get your affairs in orders. Yeah, Well, I mean, I think if we love each other, man, this world would be so great, but we just can't.
Yeah.
We can't, man. And you know what? And I agree why we can't, because you gotta watch your back with certain people, man. Yeah. You can give somebody love and they not really returning it, and they really just using it.
Yeah, so we got to teach our children how to identify people that we shouldn't be dealing with.
Yeah.
Because they might come to them with open arms, or them people might hug them back but put a knife in their back at the same time, because you don't know how to identify predators. There are predator friends out there. The friends is the disguise.
We need to get them those books, man. What's that Sun Tzu book? The
Art of War.
The Art of War and 48 Laws of Power. Like 48 Laws of Power is really just all about a whole bunch of ways people be manipulating and playing people. And you read that, and then you get all of the game. Mm-hmm. You'll start seeing it. When you read the game, you'll see it.
Yeah.
So, But that's it for today. See y'all guys next Monday.
All right, next Monday. What we talk about next Monday? Oh,
Oh, we're gonna see, and you know what? We're gonna definitely revamp this show. We're
yeah.
gonna
See
we're
the
gonna take this show.
aftermath.
Yeah,
How Sunday is affected by the events at the shoot in Las Vegas.
yeah. We talk about that and some other stuff. We definitely gonna take this show to another level. We're gonna get better.
Mm-hmm.
28.
No to sex. That's 2 weeks from now.
Huh? No,
No to sex is 2 weeks from now.
Now we probably can do that next week because we ain't got to talk about too much about the aftermath of what happened.
Okay, we'll just touch it. We'll just touch on it.
Yeah, we can touch it.
So no to sex next week. I'm gonna let you take the lead on that show.
Hey, damn! I wish we can find a way. You know what? This is Hangout, so we can definitely try to. We need to go ahead and get a chick ready. Oh, I'm not gonna say chick. I'm sorry. A woman ready to come on with us with that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah. I'll see if I can find somebody who wanna have an hour, spend an hour with us.
Yeah, I don't care if we don't even know him. We'll try to see if we can get somebody that's down.
Okay, cool beans. I'll put a random shout out on Facebook to see if anybody would like to have a conversation with on Hangouts next Monday night about women saying no to their man in the bedroom.
Or you could better find a more clever way of saying it, like the worst weapon that women use on us men. That way, that'll intrigue somebody to be like, what is this weapon?
Okay. All right then, people. This is Mr. Mango Head and Big Mike. We out.
Peace.